Good morning and welcome to another episode of Let's See What Zach Did. So it's been a week now since Zach had his liposuction surgery at Sonobello, and so we're gonna do a quick Tech Garage video check-in, and we're gonna have a couple other things to talk about today too.
I recorded some videos on my own post-surgery after I could take my binder off. So after the surgery, I had to wear this kind of black binder around my midsection for 24 hours. They had some maxi pads in there to soak up all the goo. And so they said after 24 hours, I could take that off and then put on one of the compression shirts. These compression shirts are pretty swanky.
Oh yeah, that was when we filmed that with you not able to get it on.
Yes.
Do you have you said you filmed you putting it on post-surgery.
Yes.
Do you have that footage?
I do.
Can I insert it in here?
Yes.
All right,
so
cool.
I figure what we'll do here is we'll do a reaction video. I'm going to show Matt right now the video of me taking the binder off, and then we'll show Matt the video of me trying to get the garment on. And, you know, you can see now both simultaneously. There'll be like the video playing and Matt's reaction to what's happening.
Nice. So, I'm excited about this. I'm very excited about this, yes. So,
all right.
I'm going to flip around here. I'm watching this.
So we're going to pull up this first video.
Ooh, you're on your bed.
Hell
Sexy
yeah,
times.
Right?
Yeah. Nice Peloton.
Yeah, nice Peloton in the background there. So what you're seeing here is like me trying to figure out how the binder actually works. A nurse put it on, so I had no idea, and I'm like trying not to tear open the holes in me.
Right. Is Sid's not holding the camera? You're like, you set up a tripod or something?
Yeah, I mean, this is my
So you're doing this on your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Sid's over kind of camera right here.
Okay.
She's laughing at me.
I see where they did the like plastic surgery, draw purple lines on you.
It was just like episode 1 of Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
So there's my first maxi pad coming off. Here's another
one. It's literally like maxi pads, isn't it?
Yep, they are absolutely maxi pads.
Oh man, that bruising, that looks pretty.
Yeah, it gets
pretty
worse.
Rough there on the sides there.
Is not great. This is actually not bad. It turned much darker red and purpley, and it's kind of yellowy now. So I'm currently trying to figure out how to like get the ones that are on my back off.
So does it hurt at this point, or is it just kind of like you don't want it to hurt, so you're being careful?
I don't want it to hurt, and I'm also trying not to like tear open whatever wounds are there.
Right.
Which I kind of screw up.
Oh man, that's some goo down there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the side of me that has been leaking the most.
Okay.
It stopped leaking now, but like, look at all that. That's just vile.
Oh man. Wow. Man, that bruising that's
yeah.
Because you sent me those pictures from the last video that we posted. In the pictures you could see it, but it looks a lot worse like this.
It's worse even like I've lost the ability to tell what's worse or bad because like whenever I see myself, I just like bruising everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, and you can see the little incision mark just above it. Okay. Yeah.
So there's incision marks right up here on the top of my belly button and at the bottom of my belly button.
Right.
It's actually kind of weird. You'll see in here where the this is me trying to get up for the first time on my own.
With a lot of help, apparently.
With a lot of help, yeah. Mostly because like my center is still a little like numb at this point. All right, so that's that. Oh, what am I doing? I'm sitting back down. Oh yeah, I'm grabbing the camera. And okay, talky talk. We don't need to hear that. Let's look at my wife and I trying to get the. I look high.
You look fucked up.
So right here is 24 hours later, like all of the drugs have worn off, but I'm kind of just like, man.
You look very tired. You don't look happy.
I did not sleep well that night. Like it was a miserable evening.
But you cheered up as soon as you started talking on video.
Well,
so
yeah,
that's good.
because I figured we could just cut the part where I wasn't happy.
Right.
So this is me vamping a little bit about what it's like.
Right. I love that you vamped on this, and we're probably just going to have just audio over it anyway, so none of this actually matters. But
yeah.
You got some Drano in the is there. You had some clogs going on.
Yeah, had some clogs. So here's me trying to put the shirt on my own.
Oh, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels really weird because I have like 6 or 8 holes in me, and I'm trying not to tear them open.
Okay.
Because like I'm a little worried about that at this point. But then I get stuck, and I again can't move.
The same spot you got stuck before.
The same spot I got stuck before. Yeah. So you'll note here that like this shit is like those seams that you see. Those should be going down my side, not down my nipple.
Oh, right. It's not aligned correctly.
Yeah, it's not aligned correctly. My head's not even really, my head's more aimed at one of the sleeve holes than the head hole.
Right. It's not good there. Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, I give up. I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Here's my wife trying to help. And like,
it's not moving though. Like she's pulling it down. She's pulling hard. It's not moving.
She's like yanking me off of my feet.
Yeah.
We're not really sure what we're doing here. So she tries to start working it down, and like...
I feel like, honestly, this is a great educational video for anybody else that's having this surgery to know what to expect and how to maybe do this.
Now, this is where I'm starting to point out that they're like not even.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it'll be fine. I'm like, no, it won't be fine. Because we're going to have to twist this shit at some point. Right. And I don't want to do that where it's on my, like, broken bits.
Like, she's trying to twist it now, but it's too tight.
Yep. And, like...
You don't look like you're in that much pain, though, so that's
like,
good.
Most of the drugs, like, most of my belly area still has a lot of the, juice in it that makes me not feel stuff. So it's really not that bad. At worst, it feels like, if you've ever had, like... dental work done, where your mouth's there and you can kind of feel it, but you don't have pain there.
Yeah,
that's largely what it's feeling like right now.
Honestly, I feel like at this point it's down far enough that it's plausible now, right?
Yeah,
like 2 minutes ago, it seemed like it still might not even be possible to get it on.
Yeah, the big challenge we're still having here is we've still got like 3 inches to go around the sides,
to
bring those seams back to where they need to be.
Yeah, this looks like it's also going to be the more painful part coming up.
Because like. You don't really want to have to do that over the like new areas. So
you're like, hey, the seam right here.
Yeah.
See, it's not lined up right.
Yeah. Also, when you're trying, like, I don't know about you guys, but it's been many, many years since I've needed help dressing myself.
Yeah.
So trying to explain to somebody, especially when you're a little bit like, I'm kind of particular about things. And my wife is not as particular about things as I am.
Right.
So, like, my desire for things to be, like, uniform and even is starting to come out, but I'm also recognizing that she's going to lose patience with me at some point.
Right. She's not going to do anything. She's going to be on your own.
Just, like, quit your bitching and, like, we're doing this.
She's going to walk away.
Yeah.
You did this to yourself.
Right. Yeah. Oh, there was the first time she tried to pull it out. Yeah. So there's a little pain there.
I can see the flinch reaction.
Yeah, and the problem is like a lot of the shirt's still bunched up over my tits.
Yeah.
But like you still got to kind of work it down a little bit.
Yeah. Did you think that maybe instead of getting the surgery, you could just wear one of these shirts all the time and that'll just hold everything in? Because I'm kind of thinking of getting one. Your top section looks much slimmer while you're wearing that.
These shirts are slimming, and after a while you get used to it. Like
you look a little scared right there.
I am very scared right there because I'm starting to drag tight fabric down cuts in me, right?
Joel Snow is the only one that's going to know this reference. That was the look that you had when you were making the river crossing in the Olympics years ago.
You mean the one where, like, we're walking across the river and it's up to your and Joel's waist, but it's like nipple deep
close to your
me.
neck? Yeah, that one.
Okay, so that operation was 4.5 minutes total from the time we started trying to put a shirt on it until we got it on.
4 minutes to get a shirt on. 4.5 minutes
to get a shirt on. Yeah.
Wow.
Now we've gotten much faster at it because for at least the first few days, actually, this is kind of a funny story. So I wasn't able to dress myself until Wednesday this week.
Okay.
So basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 5 days or so.
Right.
Sid had to help me get my clothes on. Wednesday morning.
All your clothes, not just your.
No, just the.
just that. Are you? So you got one of those on right now?
Yeah.
Are you able to put it on and off yourself now?
I can now. So Wednesday morning, I had a follow-up doctor's appointment, right? And it was super early in the morning, and there was just one nurse and me in the whole place. And I got there, I didn't really know what to expect. And so I roll on into the examination room, and she sets down the hospital garment and a pair of disposable boxers. She says, "Go ahead and put those on." And I'm like, "Oh, so yeah, I can't actually dress myself." And the way she looked at me was like, "Push up." So she's like, "Well, you try it, and if you can't do it, let me know."
Right.
She was super polite about it, but at the same time, I'm like, "Oh, man." So she leaves, and I try and take it off, and I got it off.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy to get off. I'm like, "Okay, cool. Done." Near the end, at the end when it was time for me to put my clothes back on, I was like, "I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how I do." And I figured out, Sid and I had been getting pretty good at this, and I think the secret to putting on a compression garment is, number one, make sure it's lined up when you start.
Okay.
Right?
Right, so you don't have to twist it.
Yeah, so you don't have to twist it.
Yeah.
Number two, when you go to put it over your head, you want to have it kind of on this, the bicep-y area of your arm, so that as you pull it over your head, you can stretch it out a little bit.
Okay.
And then grab the base out and pull it down.
Okay.
And then you want to get it down to this area. You want to get this area pulled down nice and tight.
Right.
And then you want to grab the rest of it, find the bottom end,
and
release the bottom all around.
Okay.
And then kind of lift out and down.
Okay.
And now I can do it on my own really easily. Taking it off is similar. So basically taking it off, you just kind of turn it inside out and peel it up.
Okay.
And then do one of these numbers. But you got to make sure to get your shoulders back so that it doesn't get caught on the back of your shoulder blade.
Okay.
And then boom, it's right
so
off.
It just takes a little bit more extra strategy, a little more planning.
Yeah, it's the stretching with your arms that was the key to help get it kind of to move down. Because if it's just stuck here and you're trying to pull, you don't really have a good angle to pull on.
Yeah.
But if you roll it a little bit, and you can right down.
So was that doctor's follow-up just a normal follow-up, or did you have questions about your state or anything else that you needed questions on? Checked out.
Yeah, to answer your first
I might be
question,
leading here a little bit.
It was a planned follow-up. So when you go in for your surgery, they schedule a follow-up 3 or 4 days later just to see how things are going. For me, things were going pretty well until Monday night. I went to go to bed, and I was doing my nighttime stuff. And I noticed some bruising in a rather inconvenient place.
Okay.
Basically, my, what's the appropriate terminology here?
Genitals?
Genital region
yeah.
was, one side of it had a big bruise kind of going.
Which is weird, because they didn't, we talked about this in the first video.
Yeah.
They weren't going to, do anything down there.
Weren't touching that area.
Yeah.
So I was a little, it was 12:15, 12:30 at night. My wife was asleep, and I'm looking at that going, that ain't right.
Yeah.
And because it's a relatively important area, I was in that weird spot where, do I wake my wife up and risk getting yelled at? Because she doesn't sleep very well, and if she's asleep, you try not to wake her up.
Right.
Or do I just hope everything will be fine? I woke my wife up. She it's fine, go the fuck to sleep.
You're like, no, this is really important.
She's like, no, it's just part of the surgery. It's okay. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. So that was Monday night. Tuesday morning, I woke up and I'm like, okay, that doesn't look great, but it doesn't look as, it's about the same as it was.
Right.
Fast forward a few hours later, about lunchtime on Tuesday, I go to the restroom, and I glance down, and I'm now multicolored.
Right.
Where the whole area is basically purple with just kind of the end being whitish. And I'm like, this is it's one of those things where you're I'm sure this is just happening and it's normal.
Right.
But I'm also now starting to get worried. But I also have a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Right. So I can just ask him tomorrow.
I can ask him tomorrow, right? By the middle of the afternoon Tuesday, everything had turned purple.
Right.
All purple. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know what they're going to tell me, but if I need to order something, like, I want to get that order in now so that this can go back to being healthy soon. Right? So I call up the doctor.
No pain, though? It's
no pain,
discolored.
Just discoloration and, like, almost, like, bruised everywhere. You know how when you get a bruise, it's like a little floppy or
And
something?
probably because, like, you had a pretty traumatic surgery, right? I mean, they
were, like, in there working around.
And so there's probably a lot of bleeding internally.
Yeah, there's
going
some
on.
bleeding, there's some fluid in there.
And gravity.
And gravity,
right,
yes.
happens, and, those fluids just gravity down.
Yep, they do, and that's exactly what's happening.
Right.
But when I called the doctor, it was funny. I talked to the receptionist, and I'm like, hey, there's some things that are happening. I want to talk to a nurse and just kind of figure out what I'm supposed to do here. I do have an appointment tomorrow, but, like, it would be nice to talk to a nurse. She's like, okay, no problem. Let me get you a nurse. She comes back a little bit later, goes, hey, all the nurses are busy. Can you tell me what's going on? And I'm like, my penis looks like a big bruise. And then there's this really long, like, how bad? I'm like, what is the measure of how bad is
10?
bruise? Like,
10?
And I'm like, it's not good. Because, like, I lack the vocabulary to discuss that scenario.
Right.
Because it doesn't happen, like,
right.
ever. And she's like, I'll just get a nurse to call you back. I'm like, sweet. So a few minutes later, like maybe 10, 15 minutes later, a nurse calls back and goes, hey, this is normal. It's just drainage from the surgery. Go get some compression, like put on some compression.
You're like, compression? Wait, what?
Well, yeah. She's like, go ahead and put on some compression shorts. And, like, again, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. I'm like, where do you even go to buy compression shorts? Like, maybe I have some. I don't remember because I've got a lot of workout gear.
Right.
But if I need to buy them, do I just go to Fred Meyer? Like, what do I do?
Right.
She's like, Amazon. I'm like, okay, cool.
You know how to use that.
Yeah, so sweet. So I ordered some from Amazon. I did end up going to Big Five Sporting Goods and getting some there as well. So I've been wearing those now since Wednesday last week. And it seems to be getting better.
Okay.
Like, I'm only like half bruised today.
All right. Yeah.
So,
that's good. That's good.
But it was a little concerning. They did say when I talked to them that while it isn't uncommon for it to happen, it doesn't happen to everybody.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons why, like, it just hadn't come up. Right. It was kind of like, I imagine when you're a doctor or like in the kind of medical field, you have this weird thing where, you want to inform people of risks.
Right.
But you also don't want to scare them.
Right.
So, like, if there's something that may happen that has, like, no impact and is not really a problem at all, you don't want to stress them out with that knowledge until they get there.
Right.
And, like, this is one of those things where, yes, I was weirdly stressed out about it, but, I recovered. It's fine.
Understandably. It makes sense.
Yeah. Other than that, things have been going pretty good. I started sleeping again.
That's good. That's good.
Like,
So are you feeling like the swelling's coming down too? Like,
the swelling is coming down a lot.
You're feeling slim now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say slim yet. Do you guys want to see?
No.
Okay.
I mean, sure.
I can show you what it looks like now. Like I said, the bruising's somewhere worse, I think, than even the first day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got some yellow going on in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of yellow on the sides. Wow.
Yeah. The sides are a little beat up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got this. Hold on.
This part's a little sensitive.
Yeah. It doesn't feel great. Plus, they said not to let it get don't let it bunch up in places so that you don't get lines, permalines. And I'm like stupid. Just give me 1 second here.
All right. Oh yeah.
Gotta just pull some of this down here. I don't want lines, so I'm like overly concerned about where the thing bunches up. But needlessly so, I'm sure, because again, I'm weird about stuff. So yeah, the bruising is getting kind of ugly.
Yeah.
But the weird,
would you do it again? If
all Are you asking if I don't put the fork down and can't actually keep my shit together?
No, well, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying you're going to be on a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
But, like, rewind 3 weeks.
So, like,
knowing what you know now.
So far, it's not really been bad. I think the biggest challenge has been the like dealing with the kids. I've got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Right.
The 7-year-old does a good job of being careful and not breaking dad. The 3-year-old's a 3-year-old.
Right.
So she's currently pissed at me because I can't pick her up.
Right.
And like cuddling with her is weird because normally, you know, you sit with a kid here.
Right.
But I've got like, you know, holes in me.
And you're like, don't touch me.
And I'm like, don't sit there. So like we're doing this thing where like she just sits between my legs with a pillow here. And so like it's a weird form. But she's like, this is bullshit, Dad.
Right.
But no, like it seems fine so far. Like for what they like, if you think about it, they went in there and yanked out a bunch of fat. I haven't really had that much pain.
Okay.
Like it's all been Advil and Tylenol for pain management, which even that I'm down to like 3 or 4 times a day. It's not very much.
That's not bad. Yeah.
It is a little annoying now. Like sitting down for long periods is not super comfortable.
Yeah.
But again,
right. What are you gonna do?
Fine. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably do it again. I'm hoping not to need to do it again in this area.
Yeah.
And the rest of me is fine, but it doesn't, like, all in all, it's not been bad.
Yeah. Right on.
So, yeah,
cool.
It's pretty good. You had a topic you wanted to discuss.
I did. So I sent you this picture. It happened as I was heading over here.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'll just overlay it on the video here.
Oh yeah, good point. Actually, I want to pull it up just so I can see it again.
All right, yeah. So you just look it on your phone.
I'd like to guess at what this means.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this picture.
So this happened. I've never seen this before. I get in my truck to come over here. And this is the icon that comes up. And this is that part of the dash. It gives me a little like if the door's open or if I'm trying to think of other things that I've seen in there. If my tire pressure's low. When
you first sent this to me, I was very confused because it looks like it has something to do with the gas in the car. But then I look at the message that says 234 miles to empty. So then that makes me go, maybe it's like something to do with the gas cap.
Yeah.
Like, is the gas cap missing?
It was loose. That was really quick. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I thought maybe it meant like check engine, like some sort of weird check engine, like because it kind of looks like plug in something to your car, maybe.
Yeah, like
or
the first time I looked at this, it looked like.
Or my oil needs to be changed, but I think I would have seen it before.
Yeah, it looked to me like one of those kind of stovetop tea kettles.
Yeah.
You know, that has a little thing that goes goop, goop, off the top.
Yeah.
I'm like, that makes no sense in a car. Looking at it a little more, I'm like, it looks like there's a screw going into the car, but it's in a strange angle.
It's in a weird, right? And the what I think is supposed to be a tire looks like an arrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem quite right. So I actually looked in the owner's manual. As I'm driving over here, I'm like flipping through the owner's manual, probably not super safe, and trying to be like, and I went through the whole indicator section. I'm like, I don't see anything. There's nothing like this, right? I see other indicators that I've seen, check engine, whatever. But I don't see anything like this. I can't find this image. I had to search online, and it was a loose gas cap.
It is a weird image. Like, the only thing that told me gas cap was the angle. Like, as soon as I started, like, I'm like, okay, we're going to assume that the blocky thing on the left is the side of a car.
Right.
And then there's something that looks like it's going into the car at an angle.
Right, which does kind of look like a gas cap. I kind of get that. It also looks like maybe rain. I don't know.
Well,
it could be.
Yeah, I had a hard time at first because it almost like it could have been like lug nuts are loose or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I definitely got a very screwy, like something to screw feeling from it.
So once I actually was like, oh hey, it says it's the loose gas cap. Now I was really curious. Like, is it the loose gas cap? Like, let me. So I pulled over.
Yeah.
And it had like 2 clicks left on it, right? You know how like you can screw in and then it would like click twice?
I don't.
I know you don't have gas anymore. But if you remember, I'm sure at some point you had a gas cap and you used one. Anyway, it had 2 clicks on it. And I was like, that was just weird. And then, of course, it doesn't go away right away, right? It starts the truck back up. And I'm like, yeah, it's still there, but it probably needs to reset. And within a minute or two, it was gone.
Do you suppose that's a pressure sensor?
I'm guessing it's pressure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, that's strange. Well, what happens if your gas cap is loose?
I don't know. Nothing? I mean...
It was only an orange light, not a red light, so it couldn't have been...
Right. It seemed to be driving fine. Everything else seemed totally fine. It was just like, hey, here's this weird indicator. What do I do? Do I care? I don't know. Like, it's only orange. It should be fine.
That's strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an example to me of, image that requires a lot of context.
Right. Well, here's the thing. There's other places in there, like, and you can see in this picture, it says, I've got 2 messages, and I can go in and I can see that, like, one of them is low tire, which I don't really have a low tire, but I'm just
it's probably because one of your tires is flat.
That gauge is off, and I'm getting new tires soon, so I'm just dealing with it, whatever. And also, like, hey, I need to change my oil, and it says in full text, you need to change your oil.
Yep.
Why within those messages don't they just also say, hey, you got a third message, your gas cap is loose?
I have a theory on that. And if you're in the car manufacturing industry, please throw something in the comments to tell me I'm wrong. But I strongly believe that when you're looking at your car, you think of it as your car, right? But what it really is a radio with some kind of control system in it and a dash cluster with probably 2 or 3 different control systems in it, and some weird centralized bus that is kind of pushing information around.
Right.
Such that like the overall like messaging is not uniform.
Right. All of the different engineering groups that came together to build that, they each had their own section and everybody put their thing in their own spot. That's probably very correct.
Yeah, because like I feel that way when I'm dealing with my wife's car sometimes, because like I don't know if you guys have felt this, but you know what it's like when you're reading a book, right? And you can read a book and go, oh, this is Stephen King writing, or oh, this is like Michael Crichton, right?
Right.
Which, by the way, I'm really pissed off that the coronavirus hasn't done an Andromeda Strain kind of thing, because that would be fucking amazing. Andromeda Strain, worst book ever created. Don't read it.
I never read it.
Save yourself the time. But like, I feel when I'm in cars and I'm working with the different systems that you can almost feel different authors.
Right.
UI,
see which design group was doing this part of the engineering work. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I think is like, I notice it less on the Tesla, and I suspect that's because like they've got one group that's they have a more they're controlling everything end to end.
Right. Also, I wonder if because it kind of came from the ground up more recently, as opposed to they've been iterating on X number of models, and we got to cram like this in here because we do it in every model of Toyota has this thing, and so because I've noticed that there's a lot like the overall experience in the Tesla feels a lot more uniform than it does on any car I've owned before. But. So I think you had something you want to talk about too.
So I've got let's do this as a teaser for next time.
All right. Cool.
So this week I had a little bit of time. So I started working with a new note-taking system.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me something about that, yeah.
One of the things over the years that I've always been frustrated by is, like, for those of you playing at home, I'm a manager. I run a bunch of different technical teams. I have a lot of things I need to keep track of, right? So if you try and do like any kind of getting things done system or anything like that, they all break down because you have to spend way too much time managing them. Or, you end up with, you're taking notes in a meeting and you write down a quick note in here that I need to do this, but then it's not in your like to-do list.
Right.
It's a mess. So I've been on the lookout for the perfect solution for me, at least, and hadn't been able to find one. I found a bunch of stuff that was good enough, but I had in my head what I wanted, and I actually stumbled across it on the internet recently. Other people had already built it, and I was like, sweet. So I think next session we'll do some kind of screencast walkthrough style descriptions of what it is and how it works and why I think it's cool.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I think that's about it. We've got about 30 minutes of video at this point. You guys are probably bored of listening to us. So that's it for today's episode of Tech Garage Video. Thanks, Zach, for sacrificing his body for all of our entertainment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Actually,
comment,
throw comments in.
And if you want to hear it, click the notification bell.
Right, all of that stuff that everybody else says. You should do that. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you again soon.